Most people picture Anthony Perkins as the chilling Norman Bates from Psycho, yet this talented actor had layers that went beyond his screen persona. Beneath his charming exterior lay a complex individual with a deep passion for the arts and a relentless drive for success. His life was marked by struggles that he kept hidden from the public eye. Despite his fame, Perkins faced personal demons, battling insecurities, and the pressures of Hollywood. He was not just an actor but also a gifted director and writer, showcasing his versatility in various roles throughout his career. The contrast between his public image and private life was stark, with the darkness of his most profound secrets often overshadowing his achievements. As we delve deeper into his story, we will uncover the troubling aspects of his life that reveal a man grappling with his identity, a stark contrast to the terrifying character he portrayed on screen. The complexities of Perkins' existence provide a fascinating glimpse into the man behind the iconic role, one that was far more intricate than what audiences witnessed in Psycho. Born in New York in 1932, Anthony Perkins entered the world in the same year his father, Oscar Perkins, made his mark in cinema with a role in Scarface. As an only child, he developed a close bond with his mother, Janet Rain. This closeness, however, gave rise to deep-seated feelings of resentment towards his father, who was often absent due to his work. Young Perkins experienced a tumultuous mix of emotions. He loved his father yet harbored a wish for his demise, believing that if his father were gone, his mother would be solely his. This intense inner conflict culminated in tragedy when, at the age of 5, Perkins's father died suddenly from a heart attack. Overwhelmed by guilt, the young boy mistakenly thought his violent wishes had caused his father's death. Oscar Perkins transformed into a mythical figure for Anthony, and every time he saw his father on screen, it felt as if he came alive again. Meanwhile, his relationship with his mother intensified, perhaps to an unsettling degree. With an abundance of love to give, Perkins's mother enveloped him in affection that bordered on inappropriate, constantly touching and caressing him. This nurturing created confusion for Perkins, who soon found it difficult to discern whether he should embrace or question his mother's attention. Seeking an escape from his surroundings, Perkins found inspiration in his father's career as an actor. He had grown up hearing glorious tales about his father's life, filled with the allure and excitement of the theater. This admiration sparked a new goal within him to pursue acting. Perkins saw in his father's experiences a path to freedom, a way to express himself and break away from the constraints of his repressed home life. While attending Rawlings College in Florida, he began to hone his craft, participating in various college productions. One notable performance was in The Importance of Being Earnest during his freshman year. This time in college allowed him to share the stage with future stars like Mr. Rogers and John Wren. It was a period of pure normalcy for Perkins, a brief interlude before the whirlwind of fame and attention that awaited him. He was on the brink of a new chapter in his life, one filled with bright lights and endless possibilities, as he prepared to collide with the world of acting that he had so eagerly embraced. Breaking into film is often a challenging endeavor, but Anthony Perkins carved a path for himself in his early 20s. He secured a supporting role in the film The Actress, where he had the opportunity to act alongside respected talents like Gene Simmons and Spencer Tracy. Like his father, Perkins transitioned between the realms of theater and Hollywood, establishing a dual presence in both industries. Just a year following his Hollywood debut, he made a significant impact on Broadway by stepping into the lead role of the play Tea and Sympathy, having replaced John Kerr. His performance not only captivated audiences, but also received acclaim from critics, leading to waves of adoration surrounding this emerging star. By 1955, his talents were recognized with a Theatre World Award, marking his conquest of the stage. After his triumph on Broadway, Perkins transitioned back to film with notable success. In 1956, he starred in Friendly Persuasion, a war drama directed by William Wyler, alongside the legendary Gary Cooper. This role marked a turning point in his acting career, as Perkins' performance earned him a Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year, as well as an Academy Award nomination. The surge in popularity that followed demonstrated his potential to become a leading figure in the industry. This recognition from the film world further bridged his acclaim on Broadway, and the following year, he received a Tony Award nomination for Best Actor for Look Homeward, Angel. Driven by early success, Perkins seemed unstoppable, each opportunity building upon the last. It wasn't long before the music world saw potential in Perkins' talents in addition to acting. By 1958, everyone expected great things from Anthony Perkins. Newsweek magazine said he was the heir to such frontrunners as Clark Gable and Gary Cooper, and they had him pegged as the next leading man. Even The Hollywood Reporter hailed him as the fastest rising star in Hollywood. For young Perkins, the future was a picture of glowing optimism. The world was his oyster. However, the higher you rise, the further you have to fall. Perkins' first musical singles reflected Paramount's attempt to mold him into the next teen idol. His album featured fun doo-wop songs boasting fluffy titles such as The Prettiest Girl in School, and When School Starts Again. He even reached number 24 on the pop charts with his light-hearted hit Moonlight Swim. Despite this commercial success, Perkins had serious intentions for his music career, and his following albums showed an impressive range that spanned popular music to jazz. His calming vocals truly soared in some covers, leading him to explore different musical avenues. Perkins also spoke French fluently, and recorded an entire album in French, showcasing his versatility. However, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. With competition looming at every corner, he felt incredibly insecure about the quality of his voice. After hearing his soft jazz renditions, Perkins felt dejected, remarking, "My voice is terrible." Competing with legends like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin made him feel that his understated yet undeniably sweet vocals fell beneath the radar. Later in his life, he reflected on his discography as second-rate art, a severe self-criticism that spoke to his desire to be a better artist in every way. In 1960, Anthony Perkins took on a role that would forever change his life and career. He starred in Alfred Hitchcock's horror film Psycho, where he portrayed Norman Bates, the enigmatic caretaker of a secluded motel. This character, with his boyish charm and unsettling dual personality, captivated and horrified audiences around the world. Hitchcock saw in Perkins a resemblance to a young James Stewart, believing he was the perfect fit for the complex role. The film's most famous scene, the shower scene, is often associated with Perkins, yet ironically, it was not him, but his double who performed the act of murder on screen. When Perkins finally saw the completed film, he experienced that shocking moment as a viewer, feeling genuine terror. The production of Psycho was a positive experience for Perkins, who developed a strong bond with Hitchcock. The director even entrusted Perkins with choosing Norman's outfit, which made him feel deeply involved in the character's creation. Psycho became a monumental success, grossing 50 times its production budget and earning numerous Academy Award nominations. Perkins' performance was a significant factor in the film's triumph, and today Psycho is celebrated as one of the greatest films of all time. Despite his success on the big screen, Perkins wasn't quite as prolific in the romance arena. Perkins stayed single until well into his 30s, fending off romantic advances from leading ladies such as Bridget Bowe, Sophia Loren, and Jane Fonda. He rejected them all, even admitting that he would prefer death to voluntary intimacy with a woman. Being gay in a prejudiced industry and world, Perkins kept his attraction to men a closely guarded secret. His movie company set him up on dates with actresses as publicity stunts to uphold his picture-perfect facade. In 1956, 4 years before Psycho, Perkins set his eyes on teenage heartthrob Tab Hunter. Their romance blossomed undercover, with the two lovers going on double dates with other Hollywood starlets to maintain their discretion. However, the competition between the two actors eventually led to the end of their 3-year relationship. During one of his therapy sessions, Perkins was asked what kind of woman attracted him. Flipping through a magazine, he came across a spread of Marissa Berenson's sister, Barry Berenson. The two connected at a Manhattan party, and Perkins married Barry in 1973. While some speculated that Perkins' affection for Barry stemmed from an attraction to another man, Barry remained committed to their marriage, and the couple found a balance that lasted until the end of Perkins' life. Anthony Perkins' career was largely defined by his role as Norman Bates in the classic film Psycho, and try as he might, he could never quite shake off that image. He starred in the 3 sequels that followed, but none could quite capture the brilliance of Hitchcock's original. For the 3rd installment, Perkins even took on the role of director. But alas, it was all to no avail. The film industry had pigeonholed Perkins as Norman Bates, and he struggled to break free from that mold. It was a source of mixed feelings for him, as he both loved and despised the character that had become his legacy. According to his wife, Perkins went 2 long years without working, but he bore the disappointment with dignity. He waited eagerly for his agents to call, but the jobs simply weren't coming in. Despite his frustration, Perkins never complained. He kept himself busy, waiting patiently for the right opportunity to come along. And when it did, it was something completely unexpected. Anthony Perkins was more than just his illness. and the famous roles he inhabited. He was a complex and multifaceted individual with a deeply private nature. When he passed away in 1992, the inscription on his headstone read, "Don't fence me in," a testament to his unquenchable thirst for life and his desire to keep growing and improving. Just a few years later, in 2001, Perkins' widow, Barry Berenson, tragically died on American Airlines Flight 11, which was hijacked and flown into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Both Perkins and Berenson are survived by their sons, Osgood and Elvis. Like father, like son, Osgood, also known as Oz, followed in his father's footsteps and pursued a career in acting. His very first role was that of young Norman Bates in Psycho 2, and for a moment in time, he stood in his father's shoes. Meanwhile, Elvis, the younger son, inherited more of his father's musical side and is now a musician. Perkins had an unquenchable thirst for life, always looking forward, learning, and improving. In 1983, he captured this sentiment beautifully when he said, "It's satisfying to have grown from where I was to where I am, but there is so much growing still to be done. As long as I live, I'll be cleaning the past out of my mind, getting rid of those old cassettes I play over and over, my memories, my beliefs. I want to keep up with my life, live it so completely that when death comes like a thief in the night, there'll be nothing left for him to steal." When Anthony Perkins was 58, a shocking event changed his life forever. A tabloid published a story claiming he had HIV, which he initially dismissed. However, the news forced him to confront the truth. After undergoing tests, he discovered he was indeed positive. It became clear that someone had leaked his confidential medical information. Despite his fame, Perkins chose to keep this devastating diagnosis private, sharing it only with his wife, Barry Berenson, and close family. Berenson was heartbroken and fearful for their children, undergoing multiple tests herself, all of which thankfully returned negative. Perkins' struggle with AIDS was marked by secrecy. He visited hospitals under aliases to protect his privacy. He reflected on his life, realizing that his experience with illness taught him profound lessons about love and selflessness. In his final years, he became involved with Project Angel Food, delivering meals to AIDS patients. Speculation surrounded the source of his illness, but Berenson never accepted any theories. In 1985, as Perkins faced career challenges, his old flame, Tab Hunter, reached out with a role in a new film, but Perkins declined. This marked the last time they would see each other, encapsulating the complex and secretive life of Anthony Perkins.